So I've got video today of just really good work by CBS reporter Paula Reid. Yesterday, I already told you that at the White House coronavirus press briefing, Donald Trump played this montage compilation propaganda video whose creation in and of itself might have actually violated campaign finance laws because it was essentially a campaign video produced by the administration, and played at a White House press briefing, despite the fact that it's really more of a campaign ad. And in the video, the narrative made the case that at every opportunity, at every instance, at every inflection point, Donald Trump did everything perfectly. He did everything as early as he could have done it. He did everything as well and as efficiently as it could have been done. But the video that he played talks a lot about what was going on in January before we had our first case. And then it skips February and talks a lot about the decisions that Donald Trump made in March. It's like February didn't even happen, which was actually the key month. And that's when Donald Trump should have been doing stuff, but wasn't. Even the last 10 days of January after our first case, Donald Trump mostly golfed and did nothing other than downplaying the threat of the virus. So CBS's Paula Reid, good for her, confronts Donald Trump and says, your video skips February. What the hell were you doing in February? My words, not hers. And Trump doesn't like to be confronted, especially not by reporters, especially not by female reporters. We know that. And it went about the way you would expect it to go.
That time that you bought, the argument is that you bought yourself some time and you didn't use it to prepare hospitals. You didn't use it to ramp up testing. Right now,
you're so disgraceful. It's so disgraceful the way you say that. Let me just listen. I just went over it.
Or this rant supposed to make people
I just went over it
in an unprecedented crisis.
Nobody thought we should do it, and when I did it.
But what did you do with the time that you bought?
You know
the
we
month
did.
Of February. That
we did.
Was a gap.
What do you do?
Month of February.
What do you do when you have no case in the whole United States?
You had cases
when
in February.
Excuse me.
So I want to stop here briefly because this is important. The video skips February. Why does it skip February? Well, Trump keeps talking about January 17. January 17, we have no cases. We had no cases. What was I going to do? Our first case was January 20th. This is a calculated disinformation tactic. Trump picks a day 72 hours before the first case and says, what else was I going to do at that point? Then he skips to what he did in March. The whole point is, and Paula Reid's questioning is about, the 10-day period after the first case, right? January 20 to January 31. That's when you should have been doing things and you golfed. South Korea developed a test, rolled it out widely, isolated people, developed fever clinics, did contact tracing. South Korea to this day has 222 deaths, not per day, total. That's not a typo. Total. South Korea has 222 deaths. 1,500 people died in the U.S. just yesterday alone because during this key period, January 20 to 31, Trump did nothing. And that's why he keeps talking about January 17. Let's continue.
You reported it. 0 cases, 0 deaths on January 17th.
February, the entire
January. I said in
January. Your video
January.
has a complete gap.
On January 30th.
What did your administration do in February with the time that your travel ban bought
A
you?
lot.
What?
A lot. And in fact, we'll give you a list. What we did, in fact, part of it was up there. We did a lot. Look.
So here Trump having to fall back on, we'll give you a list of what we did, which some flunky can come up with later, which will, of course, be mostly bogus. And it was in the video. Well, it wasn't in the video. That's the whole point of what Paula Reid is asking about. The entire month of February is missing from the video that you played. Let's look at just a little more of this. And Trump becomes furious with Paula Reid. She's doing a good job. He attacks her as fake. He says most of the reporters in the room are also fake.
You know you're a fake. You know that. Your whole network, the way you cover it, is fake. And most of you, and not all of you, but the people are wise to you. That's why you have a lower approval rating than you've ever had before, times probably 3. And when you ask me that question, let me ask you this: why did Biden apologize? Why did he write a letter of apology? No, that's very important. Why did the Democrats think that I acted too quickly? You know why? Because they really thought that I acted too quickly.
Nothing screams confidence like attacking the reporter and talking about Joe Biden, right? So we are in an authoritarian nightmare. The attacks on the press won't stop. And meanwhile, Trump continues to mismanage every element of this. We have to get him out. That's why I'm with Bernie, who says we've got to vote for Biden. That's why I'm with Noam Chomsky, who says we must remove Trump, and Biden won't be exciting, but he will clearly be much better than Trump. We have to do it. This has to stop. We'll have more about this on our Instagram page at David Pakman Show. And remember, follow my 2020 urban gardening experience by following me on Instagram at david.pakman. I've got my raised beds built. I've got dirt showing up soon. I guess it's called soil, maybe dirt. Dirt, calling it dirt suggests I'm clueless, which is right. But in any case, follow the adventure at david.pakman. One of our sponsors is Cuts Clothing, giving you 15% off their entire collection of super quality men's t-shirts at davidpakman.com/cuts. That's CUTS. The solid color t-shirt is a core component of any guy's wardrobe, certainly of mine, which is all the more reason why you should love the t-shirts in your closet. It impacts your day-to-day life. Your typical poorly made t-shirt scratches, it shrinks, the neck stretches, the color fades, the whole thing warps over time. None of those things happen with Cuts Clothing. As soon as I put one of their shirts on for the first time, I notice the comfort, I notice the quality, I notice the look and the fit. And it's a noticeable level of quality, which would be appropriate for something like going on a date or going into the office. If you're watching on YouTube, I am wearing the classic Henley right now, as you can see. Go check out what Cuts Clothing has to offer. You will see and feel the difference as soon as you put it on. The slogan is, it's the only shirt worth wearing, and you will see why. And you'll get 15% off. What's better than that? By going to davidpakman.com/cuts. That's davidpakman.com/CUTS.